From a comfortable position, laying on your back with your feet shoulder width apart, one of your shoe widths between your feet. Bring your knee up into the air, and you're just going to make oblong shape with your knee. Imagine there's a flashlight on your knees up to the roof, and the oblongs are longer in relation to the height of your body rather than wide. So 10 in one direction and 10 in the other. Make that shape as regular on the pattern as possible. After you finish both directions, switch legs. So feet shoulder width apart, where there's one of your own foot widths between your feet, they're not too close together. And what you're going to do is you're just going to hinge open with the one leg, get as far as you can before you get stuck. Don't force it though. And the focus is to not let your left leg open to counterbalance. So finishing the designated number of reps, moving your heel wider, and then continuing. When you move it wider, it will naturally your heel will come up closer towards your butt because of just the way that it moves out. After you do the number of reps, again focusing on the plant leg, you can move the leg out further again. This time you're going to get a little bit more rotation in, and just trying to get that hip movement as much as you can without any pain, without forcing it. You can also do one side and the other, and then go wider, one side and the other, and then one side and then the other, if you'd like to. Sitting up in your sports ready stance, thumb is pointed up, holding in, pad of your heel of your palm should be able to touch right against your rib cage. As you pull in, you turn your thumb out. If you need to, you can have your opposite foot of your hand pulling forward. You're up on your back toe. If you're not up on your back toe, your hip's going to be drawn back. Being up on your back toe is going to allow you to keep a line of shoulders under hips. Archers. Looking at your hands, good sports ready stance of leaning forward from your hips. Reaching your right arm forward as your left arm pulls back. You can choose how far you pull your arm back. And you're making sure that you push the front hand forward as the other one reaches back. Another variation is to let your head swivel to follow your hand the whole time. Pushing forward, reaching back. Reaching that left hand way out front of the right, and then switching that right hand out, left hand reaching back. Take your hands on the bend so they're separated. You're slightly turned away from your anchor point, and you're making sure your hands stay right on the midline of your body. So it's like doing a bench press, but there's a lot of tension in your left hand. Right hand's keeping the tension between your hands and pushing forward. The narrower your legs are, the more difficult. Make sure you keep your knee bent. If you go too wide, you're not really using your lower body. Holding the handle in one hand, getting your sports ready stance, bend forward at your hips, same angle at your knees and your hips. You're going to take the band and you're going to push diagonally off to the side, away from center. So it's like a bench press where you're pushing straight forward, but you're pushing out to the side. When I start, instead of being perpendicular with the band, there's a slight turn away from the anchor point. And then when you're pressing out, you're pressing, left hand's doing most of the work, keeping nice and square. Next one, chest press. I put more tension in the band. I'm going to take the band, put it on the inside of my arm as opposed to the outside. Then you get in your sports ready stance and pushing to the midline. You can have your other hand up front, heels of your palms meet. See that my forearm of my moving arm is stationary, is in a horizontal position the whole time. If you need to, you can have the opposite foot forward on the pad of your back foot. Being up on the ball of your back foot is going to make it so that your hips are aligned. So from here, pressing forward. And the motion with your arm is sliding into the center. Standing shoulder to cat camel. Knuckles come together, rounding out your back, and then pulling and opening up your chest. Rounding and opening up your chest. You can bring your arms to different positions, whatever feels most comfortable, where you get the best change in the range of motion. Opening, setting on one foot, you can use something for balance if you need to. Knees up, hinge open, back to center and down. Opposite hand of the knee in the air. Feel like you're moving a box out to the side. Good, from all fours. Just going to pick your knee up off the ground and making circles. Small little circles, nice oblong. The oblong is taller than it is wide. So not going up to the side, it's front and back. 10 in one direction, and then 10 in the other. And then switching legs.